Woo! What's going on, guys? Almost Form coming at you guys today with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about an NFL draft prospect, and I seen this little video on Woodward Sports today. It was a little short clip. They do a lot of those short clips on YouTube, Facebook, and stuff like that. And it was Woodward Sports. It was Ryan Ermani, and it was Braylon Edwards, former Michigan Wolverine wide receiver. They were coming up, they were stirring the pot a little bit, and the subject came up was, what if Bryce Young was available at 6 for this year's draft coming up in April? Now, these guys, Woodward Sports, they talk about the quarterback situation a lot there. There's guys that like Goff, there's guys that don't like Goff. It's just plain and simple like that. And Armani and Edwards came up with a little scenario. Now, I didn't see the whole clip, but I seen a little bit of it, and they came up with their scenario of Bryce Young ended up at 6. Now, I came up with my own little scenario of possibly Bryce Young slipping to the Detroit Lions. Now, let's just get this right off the bat. I don't think this is going to happen. Okay, I don't think this is going to happen. I don't want to get the Goff truthers all excited. But they need to kind of lighten up too in this situation too, because they come out of the woodwork and they just attack when they hear stuff like this. A guy at 6, Bryce Young at 6. Well, yeah, he's the number 1 prospect, number 2 at worst in this draft coming up. And the truthers just come out in droves. They just want nothing to do with it. So something like this along happen. If it was to happen, the top 5 picks right now are number 1, Chicago Bears, number 2, Houston Texans, 3, Arizona Cardinals, 4, Indianapolis Colts, and then 5, it is the Seattle Seahawks from the Denver Broncos. They got that pick because trading Russell Wilson. So, and then us, Detroit Lions, 6 overall pick. We got that from the Los Angeles Rams. Thank you, Rams. Now, lots of stuff would have to happen in order for Bryce Young to slip to us at 6. Practically a miracle. There would have to be like 3 teams, like the Texans, the Colts, Seattle, who could be in the market for a quarterback. Are they going to sign? Are they going to re-sign back Geno Smith? I think he's 32, 33 years old. He had that pixie dust kind of year. Just a great year. Made the Pro Bowl. Looked good out there. And will they be re-signing him? So that's, or they'll be going the quarterback route of some quarterbacks that are coming out in this draft. Now, we all know the guys coming out. Bryce Young. There's C.J. Strouds. There's the Will Levises. And then there's Anthony Richardson, who's kind of shooting up boards right now. It's getting a lot of hype. The combine's just about to start. I think there was day 1 today. A lot of just guys coming in, weigh-ins, whatever they were doing. There was no physical stuff going on today. I believe I was at work. I didn't see anything or hear about anything. So I think it all starts tomorrow. So there's probably in the top 5, there's at least 3 teams that are probably going to go quarterback. So we know Chicago's number 1. What are they going to do? There's chatter out there of this team wanting to trade out or stay where they are. Are they going to draft a quarterback? They got Justin Fields still. He's young, going into his 3rd year. I don't think they're going to take a guy like Bryce Young. Will they trade Justin Fields? There's so many things that would have to happen. Now, let's say they stay and they take defensive end, edge guy, Will Anderson from the Alabama Crimson Tide. Texans. Now, the Texans are looking for a quarterback. Well, they have Davis Mills. They are quarterback, new coach, new everything going on right now with them. They need to get their stuff together, and they're probably going to draft a quarterback. Now, Bryce Young is the number 1 quarterback prospect in this draft. Probably the number 2, 1A, 1B in this draft altogether. Will Anderson and him, in my opinion. And I think most of the people can agree here. So, would the Texans take him? There's nothing about Bryce Young that you can say in really a negative way. Bryce Young he's not the perfect quarterback because everything he does is elite, but he's small. They have him at about 6 foot, 195 pounds, and we don't even know if he's that yet. We're probably going to hear about that coming up with the measurables. Did he even get measured? Height, weight? Don't even know yet. I haven't heard nothing about it yet on social media. So the Texans, could they be afraid of his size? Everything else is perfect. He checks the boxes off for everything except for size. He did hurt his throwing shoulder as well, too, during the season 2022, and I think he missed a game or two. Some people out there saying that he's injury prone, which I never understood that because he's not. He's a 2-year starter at Alabama. He missed the game because he did hurt his shoulder. I think falling down, trying to brace himself, so whatever. So let's say the Texans take C.J. Stroud. Let's say they just go off the board. They take the 6'3", 220, 215 pound quarterback because they are afraid of Young's size. Let's just say that happens, which I don't think is going to happen. Let's just say it does. Then the Cardinals are up. Now the Cardinals are probably going to give Kyler Murray one more year. This is my guess. Okay, they got all kinds of new things going on as well. So I'm assuming that they're gonna go with Kyler Murray for one more year. Let's see what the young man brings. There's lots of controversy behind him too. So Cardinals come up. I think they're taking defensive tackle Jalen Carter out of Georgia Bulldogs. Hell of a defensive player, one of the best in this draft. A top 3, top 4 prospect overall. Just a stud at the defensive tackle spot. Then another quarterback-hungry team comes up at 4th overall pick, and it's the Indianapolis Colts. So now they're thinking Bryce Young's on the board. Now he's actually slipping. Teams are going to be calling. It's going to be chaos if Bryce Young starts slipping. This is why I don't think this is going to happen. But this is a fun what if it does. But just say the Colts go. We can't do it. We can't take Bryce Young. We don't like his size. We're going to take quarterback Will Levis out of Kentucky. The Kentucky Wildcats. We're going to go with the big kid who's got the comp to Josh Allen coming out. 6'3", 6'4", 235 pounds. A hell of an arm. Can run, even though he didn't run in 2022 for some reason. But he's mobile. He can do everything you want, but he's got a little, he's a starter. I think I believe he was a transfer as well too, though. But he did start for the Kentucky Wildcats, and he's got the measurables. So say they go and they say, we're not taking Bryce Young, we're going to take Will Levis. So now the frenzy just starts heating up more and more and more and more. Now the Seahawks come up. Now what is Seahawks going to do? We just talked about it. Are they going to draft a quarterback? Or are they going to re-sign quarterback Geno Smith? They're going to go somewhere else. Are they going to bring somebody else in? Who knows what they're going to do? But could Anthony Richardson shoot up the boards and all of a sudden become the Seattle Seahawks pick? Now, I think that's a huge risk to do that over a guy like Bryce Young. I think it's maddening, actually. I think moves like that can get you fired real fast. So let's just say that happens. So that's the 5th pick, Seahawks, and they go with quarterback Anthony Richardson out of Florida. They go with the future. They go with this guy's going to be the future. He's 6'5", 240 pounds. He's Cam Newton. He's this guy. He's that guy. He's Josh Allen all in one. We're going to go with Anthony Richardson. We're going to go that route. We're going to go the big quarterback with the big arm. And we're going to let the little guy slip. Now, who's up next? Detroit Lions. And I know everybody wants defense. Everybody wants this. Everybody wants defense except quarterback. And I get it. I'm in that boat, man. I don't want quarterback, even in the first round. I don't. I do want defense. But let me tell you something right now. If Bryce Young is sitting there at 6 and Brad Holmes does not take him and he goes after a guy like a Devin Witherspoon, a cornerback, a Miles Murphy, a Tyree Wilson at defensive end, I will explode. And every other Lions fan should do the same. Even you Goff swallowers should do the same. You really should. Because Bryce Young, like I said, he checks the boxes off everything except his size. He is a smaller quarterback. He's built like a wiry wide receiver. He's not a big kid whatsoever. He might not even be 6 foot. I just seen an article coming out saying he could be 5'10", 5'11". Who knows? Waiting for the combine if he even went up there and measured himself. If he didn't measure himself, it's not concerning to me, but it probably tells me he's not 6 foot. Well, whatever. It does not matter to me. If Brad Holmes is not going to reach, and I'm saying it real, and I'm putting emphasis on reach, quotations, reach, caps, all caps. He's not going to reach for a corner or any type of defensive player if a guy like Bryce Young is there. And you have to be on board with that. Now, I don't think it's happening, but we're having fun here. This is just a fun little thing. But I see the Goff truthers going absolutely ape shite crazy over this. I've seen it. I've witnessed it in Lions groups, calling Armani and Edwards, calling them morons, calling them names, calling them out, saying they don't know what they're talking about. It's just a what-if scenario. And Armani was saying if he was there, Holmes is running to the podium. And you're damn right he would. And this is not even a shot at Goff. But this is a guy that could be, Bryce Young, could be a game-changing, franchise-changing quarterback. Plain and simple. That's what he could be. They've been talking about this kid for 2-3 years, man. So, I don't think it's going to happen, but it's a fun scenario. The stats for Bryce Young, 6 foot, 195, Alabama Crimson Tide, played in the SEC, 3 years, 8,356 yards, 80 touchdowns. 80 touchdowns. I think it was like 47 2 years ago and like 30-something this year, 2022. 12 interceptions, that's it. 165 rating and a 65.8 completion percentage. That's all elite. And then the rushing, only 162 yards at 1.2 yards per carry and 7 touchdowns. Not a guy known for his running ability, but if you caught some Alabama games, and I'm sure most of you have, he's capable of using his legs. But he just prefers to be a pocket passer. And that's what he is. He prefers his arm. He has a rocket for an arm. He can make any single throw that you ask him to make. He's a special quarterback. It's just his size. Everyone keeps talking about his size. 2 years started at Alabama as well. So just people like the Goff truthers, man, they get so worked up about it. They get so worked up about it. They're not going to reach for a defensive player. It's just not going to happen. Bryce Young is not slipping to 6 anyways, but this is a fun what-if scenario. And I just wanted to make the video because I wanted to get some people's reactions, my subs. I probably can already tell who's going to get fired up in this. I already have some guys in the back of my mind that I know will probably get a little bit upset, but there's nothing really to get upset here about because it's probably not going to happen. There's like a 2% chance of this happening. Bryce Young is going in the top 2. Top 3 at worst if someone trades up with Arizona. Or if Arizona shocks the world and they take a Bryce Young. I don't think they're going to go that avenue again. But I think Bryce Young is a little more driven than Kyler Murray. From what we're hearing out there about Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray apparently doesn't really give 2 damns about football, apparently. If you got to put something in his clause, man, that needs to see that he's been working out or whatever the hell he has to prove that he's been working out in his contract, that's a red flag for me. And there's some guys that have mentioned that and they were spot on with it. And I tend to agree with that. But a guy like a Bryce Young, he somehow slips to 6 and this regime doesn't take him, Brad Holmes should be fired immediately. And you worry about the Jared Goff situation a little bit later on down the road. And Bryce Young's a day 1 starter, so if that was to happen, it would be a quandary. I can't even begin to tell you what would happen. This fan base would take a dump, for one. There would be guys literally on wellness checks. There'd be guys on wellness checks. There'd be guys super happy. There'd be guys super confused. It would be exhilarating to watch. It would be actually fun to watch. The meltdown, the happiness, the sadness, the anger. It would be something epic, man. It would be fun. It would be fun to watch. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's a fun what if. I saw the video today, and like I said, man, I'm going to give credit to where credit is due. This is Woodward Sports coming out with this. I think it's a pot stirring subject, and I love it. I love stirring the pot. But we got to be realistic. Bryce Young's not slipping past 2 or 3. Not in my opinion. He's probably going number 1 if the Bears can get rid of that pick. That's just bottom line. But the what ifs are fun because you just never know. You just never know. There's always a little sliver that oh, this could maybe happen, but it would have to be like 2 or 3 football teams literally scared of Bryce Young's size. That's what it would come down to, in my opinion. And I don't think 3 teams are going to pass him up on his size. I really don't. Like I don't think they would. He's going early. He's going in the top 2 or 3. So that's it, guys. That's the video. It's a little fun video. It's a little what if. Let's see the reactions out there. What would you guys do if Bryce Young, the superstar quarterback from Alabama, slipped to the number 6 overall pick? It'd be a zoo, man. It'd be an absolute zoo. But thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe button at the bottom right. Don't forget hit the notification bell. Get all my videos up top. And don't forget to like, comment, share this out. What do you guys think? Bryce Young to the Lions? Uh-oh. Roll Tide, baby. Go Lions. One pride. Boom.